There's a lot going on in our district, a lot of reforms that we're putting in place to make our district one that is world-class. But the most important of all really is the work around curricula, the work that will impact teachers and students in our classrooms every single day. There's a great study done by a group called justforthekids.org, and what they did was to look at great districts across the country that close achievement gaps, that raise student achievement, and what they found was that all of them had a core curriculum in place for math and ELA that spanned all of the grades, where embedded assessments that provided formative information to teachers was a standard. So they can make decisions about kids on a regular basis versus waiting until the end of the school year to find out what happened. We didn't go out and buy curricula and transplant it in the city. What we did instead was to engage our professionals, to engage our teachers and administrators in making this really what it ought to be, which is a level of standards around math and ELA, initially from grades 5 to grades 9, but eventually we'll spend all grades from K to 12. We're calling this the Rochester Curriculum because, again, it is built by people who work and live in our schools. And what you will find is that it will bring a level of coherency in a system where our children move and move a lot. The mobility rate in our city is high, so we cannot afford to, as a district, have different things being taught in different places across the district. The second thing it does, which is tremendously important, is that it will allow us to begin to scaffold the work that we do to post-secondary so that all of our children are ready for college when they come out of our schools. So again, looking at the work that will come out of the Rochester curriculum, you will see units of study, lesson plans, assessment, but most of all, it will help us drive resources to where they're needed most in the classrooms and schools that perhaps are struggling with the work of teaching all of our children.
Hello, I'm King Swain. Today I'm here with a great group of Rochester City School District teachers and administrators talking about the Rochester curriculum. I'm going to start here on my left with Ms. Connie Leach. Hello, Ms. Leach.
Hello, King. How are you?
Good. Ms. Leach, how do you feel about integrating the Rochester City School District best practices and literary initiatives through the Rochester curriculum? Will this improve the New York State curriculum?
We believe that it has potential to do wonderful things for us. By having the Rochester curriculum, we are, for the first time in my 24 years in the Rochester City School District, going to be able to integrate the very best of what we have in literacy and what teachers have been trained to do, and will now have at their fingertips online access to how to integrate all of those pieces. At the secondary level, we will have Springboard, the project literacy piece with the writing standards, Read 180. In addition, we will be able to integrate meaningful lesson plans based on the assessments that this Rochester framework will provide for us with the NER benchmark assessments. So it'll be a complete piece that will be easily accessible to teachers and that will allow all teachers to provide students with the very best instructional practices across the board. And one of the great things about the curriculum developer is that it aligns curriculum. So it won't matter where students are coming from, and it won't matter as they move from class to class. Teachers will know what students have learned, and they will be able to integrate those pieces into their lesson plannings in ways that will allow them to look at the strengths that students bring from year to year. And when you build on a strength-based model, what you have is more rigorous lesson planning, more engaging lesson planning because it's responsive to where kids are developmentally as well as culturally, and it will provide a framework where teachers will be able to see how all of that works together. So it provides them professional development, so to speak, as they use the model.
Moving on, continuing to my left, I have Mr. Spafford.
Going on, King.
Going on, how you doing?
Good, good.
So what do you feel is the vision on improving instruction in the classroom?
The vision is to focus the teacher's energies not on creating a curriculum and trying to figure out where am I right now. Because when we wrote this with that first-year teacher in mind, coming in with no idea where to begin, staring at boxes of science and social studies, English, math. We looked at that, creating an individual curriculum, but using the teacher's talents and styles and creating a framework for them to cater to their students' individual learning styles, needs, and also to kind of make it their own.
So what do you expect from students as well as from your staff?
We were afraid that kids and teachers were going to hear, here's one more program for us to try, Read 180, America's Choice. We took what we already have, we didn't add anything new, and aligned it into one curriculum. We expect all of our students to work hard, what else? But we expect the staff to not just utilize this, but to take it and make it their own. Add your personal swing to it and make it so your class enjoys it and buys into it. We're trying to prepare our students not just for the standardized tests and boost our scores, but to prepare our students that are off for college, and for our students that are ready for the workplace to join the working field.
I was thinking about the advantages of the Rochester curriculum to the parents in our district. I think we've come to a place where we now can have more informed parents and partners in education. Dr. Rudy Crew, superintendent of Miami-Dade County, speaks of them as demand parents. Parents who are informed and can demand the best for their children's education. And through the Rochester Curriculum, we will now have a framework that can inform parents as well as teachers about what's happening on a day-to-day basis in the classroom and what student outcomes should look like at the end of a particular unit or year. Also, it's going to change the nature of parent-teacher conversations and the kinds of things that are happening when parent-teacher conferences are going on in schools. So I think that this is a beautiful piece. It takes parents' perspectives in their children's educations to a whole new level.
I worked with some on the curriculum alignment, and I found it to be extremely informative in terms of, I've been in the district for a long time, but as a teacher, we've never had a system-wide alignment. So I was a little leery at first because, and a little apprehensive about certain components of it, but the more I worked through it, the more comfortable I felt, because I really felt as though an aligned curriculum through the district would really help our students as well as our teachers, specifically newer teachers. And I also have been a mentor in the past year, so I know first-year teachers are somewhat overwhelmed with all the information they have. So I know it can help first-year teachers, but veteran teachers also, and that our district would be aligned. So if you were at school 6, you would have the same curriculum as school 9. Now, not telling you how to teach, and not telling you how to, not taking away any of your freedom as a teacher and your creativity as a teacher, but to say that this is what topics, or these are the themes that are going to be carried out for each grade level, so that you don't have combinations of things where the 3rd grade teacher is doing somewhat the same thing as the 5th grade. It's more spiral, and therefore consistency is what's great. There's no way we could have written a curriculum that really had meaning and meat to it, and substance to it. So therefore, I think that we did the outline of it. Now it's an opportunity for teachers to pilot it and to try some of the lessons that we talked about, and then to give input. And then there's an opportunity for teachers to even give lessons, put lessons online, so that whole idea of collaborative teaching will happen, because teachers will be sharing, and it'll change the culture. It'll change the idea that you're in your room and this is yours, but this is all of us, because these are all of our kids, regardless of what school they're at. They're all of our students. So if I'm doing something that can benefit someone over another school, we should be sharing.
This curriculum project, will lay out concepts that all children must be taught, will bring a high level of rigor for all students, whether they are special education students or English language learners, whether they're performing at the level 4 or level 1. So again, thank you for being part of this wonderful project.